Still not the most shocking thing that happened today, though, Luckett.
No, can't say it was.
We had Rick Pitino on KSR telling the Big Blue Nation that he's cutting checks to the Kentucky football program.
Yeah, I don't know if Tino has told a fib or two in his day. I don't know how much to believe all that, but definitely like Eddie Grain getting a mention from Rick Pitino was not on my KSR summer bingo card.
I mean, they're horse buddies. You know,
Hey,
they both own horses.
that would make
They're probably tearing it up at Keeneland.
that would make that makes sense. That would be the connection, I suppose.
And here's the thing, too, like I've pondered the thought. I don't know about you, but when I'm with my friends and we're just sitting around shooting the you-know-what after a couple cocktails, we start to bet on things. You think they ever get in their own friendly wagers like, hey, if my horse wins, I'll write a check to your program. If your horse wins, I'll write a check to yours. So I could see Patino losing a bet to Stoops and having to write $1,000 to the 15 club, right? Like I wouldn't put it past me.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That wouldn't surprise me. I went back. I immediately went back to that random like tweet from last year. Was it last summer or last year?
It was in October during the Keeneland meet. Stoops and Patino were hanging out at Jeff Ruby's, I'm guessing.
That was like, whoa, that's a surprise. And I did not expect to hear that. Rick is definitely he's taking advantage of this post-Cal era, and he's definitely taking advantage of a guy that used to play for him, being in the post here at Kentucky, and so he's doing the Patino thing. It's a little self-serving, but it's definitely weird, and he's definitely trying to. To me, Nick, he's almost trying to get he's doing what he can to get the Joe B seats, right? Like he's going to coach for St. John's a couple more years, and if Mark Pope is good at Kentucky, he wants to be in the Joe B seats. And when Kentucky wins the title, he wants to be like the second or third person they show. They show Pope, they show the players, and they show Patino on the sidelines. That's where he wants to be again. And he's on the way. He's throwing any jabs he can at Louisville.
And at Cal, too. When was he said, this is Pope's program. It's time to move on. Which it's so hard for me to fathom and you weren't around these parts when Patino's regime ended, and it ended in flames at U of L. I mean, we had a Christmas dinner party at Jeff Ruby's where Patino was sitting along the way, and there was a confrontation between us. And now he's coming on to KSR. I just can't. What's up is down, right is left. While on one hand, I'm not surprised that Patino's going for this redemption story arc. It's still just baffling to me. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I do love it because I was always one of those where I really did love to hate Patino, where some people would just scoff at it. Like I loved having him around, having him stomping with his designer shoes on the sidelines and wearing the fancy suits and mother effing people in the crowds. Like I loved having Patino around, even when he was at Louisville. And to have him gone for a while and then come back and then just saying ridiculous stuff all the time. I mean, it's kind of like whenever the Nebraska site will interview Tom Osborne every once in a while for stories. We need the summer Patino circuit because in reality, he's kind of like our Spurrier in a way, except, in a lot of ways, right? Where he was great for a decade, went to the pros, didn't work out, and goes and plays. It was South Carolina and not necessarily a rival, but another SEC school. So he's kind of like our Spurrier, right now, Spurrier, he's just got an office at the Swamp, and he's just talking smack to whoever he wants. Like, I'm totally cool if Patino coaches St. John's for 5 years and then ends up just hanging out at Keeneland and then going to Wheeler's Pharmacy and then is firing shots at Louisville left and right. Sign me up for that. Sign me up.
Well, I think that's probably going to happen. Again, as long as Kentucky it goes well with Pope. Like all bets are off if things don't go well. But and don't lose to him in Rupp Arena. Not this upcoming season, but the next season. But yeah, he's back. And then the big question is does he go to a game this year? Do we? You know, it's kind of hard because there is overlap with the seasons, right?
Right.
It would have to be an early game. But does he?
Man.
Does he have a little horse auction he's in town for, and does he swing by Kroger Field?
Oh, they'll have him at a practice too, because Pope, he's doing that now where they're showing pictures of all the former guys showing up to practice. So I could certainly see Pitino showing up for that. And I'm glad that this is a valuable lesson to all of the people out there who scoff at horse racing. It brings people together. Even Mark Stoops and Rick Pitino. You know, they're gosh, what a wild. I mean, I was as dumbfounded as I was when I was sitting across the table videotaping Katina Powell saying what she said. Like that, it's crazy.